YouTube? Welcome back to UniverseXTCG, and today we're going to put up a quick game. It's going to be Blue Doflamingo versus Red Zoro. Recorded it a little bit ago, like, what, a couple days ago? I don't know, these days blend together, I'm busy. I've been really trying to grind. But yeah, I'm going to go over it with commentary because the store was a little loud and it's a little bit of a smaller store for now, and I don't think the audio is suitable for the channel that I'm trying to put out. So I am actually going to commentate over this one. And before we jump into it, just want to say that if you like this sort of content, make sure you get on to the comment section. Let me know what you think of it, your thoughts on the game, what you may have done differently, any questions you have. Like the video so it trends, and if you want to go the extra mile, you can even subscribe. Just join the UniX fam, you can join the Discord, we can talk there. And for anybody that's looking to level up in the One Piece card game, at first I wasn't really seeing this as a possibility, but now that I have like 4 different clients, I am like, you know what, maybe coaching is just like that move. So I am doing coaching. We can play via webcam, we can play via One Piece card game sim, we can play via Untap, whichever is more comfortable to you, but we can focus on specific matchups, concepts, and have that real intimate one-on-one learning experience if you're just trying to kind of get yourself more shored up on some of the concepts that I put out on this channel. My current rate is 18 an hour, and all you gotta do is let me know via Discord or my business email and just schedule it. If you have any questions for that, you can leave that in the comments as well. But that being said, let's hop over to the game, and I hope you guys enjoy. So, a lot of people don't realize that red and blue, especially in the case of Doffy, like Doffy versus Zoro, this is an aggro versus aggro matchup, essentially. Both decks are extremely apt at putting damage on board. The only thing though is how they operate. Red has a bit more aggression with the use of rush, whereas blue is going to be able to build a wider board that's going to incorporate a lot more blockers. The main things to think about actually over here is that while Zoro will be able to put a bunch of swings up pretty fast and pretty early, Doffy is going to be able to swing for 7k very, very often and establish the board. Late game though, Doffy's also going to be able to establish things like Mihawk and Doffy, which is going to put Zoro on a clock. So he does get the Perona on turn 1, that's very, very good. Setting up that top 5. Ideally, when you're playing Doffy, you're going to want to be able to set up, since he only has 2 Dawn right now, he's going to go up to 3. He's going to want to set up his next turn's draw, as well as his next turn's Doffy effect. Then, of course, after that, your next draw, and then your next Doffy effect. So, getting started with the 4k power VV, this is going to allow me to have 2 successful swings. I do believe that my strategy going into this is making sure that I can close out the game with an unblockable Luffy, and so I have to try to maintain his board while trying to burst him down. So he's swinging on me for the 7k. I had to make sure I had the right amount of life. A little too late, but yeah, he's swinging me for 7k. Pretty much have to take that. At this point, we have to kind of play hard and fast. Playing out blockers is going to be good if we get them, but we got to make sure that we're getting our advantage and keeping the pressure on. So the hand is decent. You can see Gum Gum Jet Pistol, the Luffy, Anami, Chopper, 2 years at 2 years at Saviori, and I think a Zoro as well, and a Sanji. So we're sitting at a pretty good pace. We are going to check the Bartholomew Kuma just to see if we can take a card from his hand, and now we're swinging here. This early in the game, it's like if he has the Pacifista, he has the Pacifista. Okay, I don't have Zoro. If he has the Pacifista, he has the Pacifista. But at the same time, what we do want to, there's a lot of not options in there. We literally had the choice between a Sanji and a Luffy. We had 2 Luffys, 2 Sanjis, and at 2 years. So yeah, that was kind of a little rough. And then here, we see another Luffy. That's all 4 of my Luffys. And we have to bottom deck a Shanks. And that's a little rough. So those coming off the top of my deck really didn't get me much forward momentum. But my reasoning for swinging on the Kuma is simply that it's so early in the game, he either has to open up that Pacifista or he just doesn't have it. Every turn I let that guy stay there, not only can he push me in more, but he can also have a blocker and potentially draw the Pacifista and get extra value out of it. Now that he's at 5 Dawn, he actually has a whole lot that he can do here. Swinging in for 8 at Vivi, he wants to make sure that it's gone regardless. Or not at Vivi, my leader. He wants to make sure it's gone regardless, and the Teach is going to stun me with that. So you can see here, he's doing very, very well. He's hitting assured damage. And off my life, I got another at 2 years. Unfortunately, it's really not giving me that many options. I took the Sanji for more defense later, but it's really starting to wear on me that I'm not getting any Otamas to match the jet pistol, because I need to start being able to contest a Doffy that may come down later. I'm not getting any Zoros, so my rush potential is a little low. And he has me at the spot where he's going wide enough to where I don't necessarily... Oh, I do have Zoro. I don't necessarily want to sink all 5 Dawn into the Luffy. Yep, Sanji, Jet, Luffy, Chopper, Vivi that was put back in my hand, Zoro, I believe 2 Sanjis. Here we opt to swing in to try to chip another card from his hand. And he opts to take it. It was a pretty safe swing, and then we're going to end up playing Vivi. We have 2 rushes in hand, so we are literally trying to block an attack and set up my swings for next turn. He's getting to the point where he is going to be able to start playing some really big dudes, and we simply do not have him at the right life total yet. But he's really becoming very well adept at like putting pressure on my leader with Doffy. He's continuously ramping up Doffy. He's not leaving it at 7. Like he swung at 7, then he just swung at 8 last turn. Now he's swinging at 5. That's an easily blockable thing. And at this very moment, I don't want to drop a 2K to block that. So the Nami is going to go. It is a search, but he's going to start swinging for some obscenely high numbers soon. And I just want to make sure that I don't get Mize by dropping 2Ks. So with Virgo out, I desperately need to find an Otama or any card that can go minus on Virgo so I can kill it with Jet Pistol. Because Virgo is going to put me essentially on the same clock that Doffy would. So I am gaining 2 Dawn. And right here we're at a position where meaningful damage can get blocked by Law. The Perona, I don't want to devote an attack to. It is an easy target that he can Dawn up, so we have things to consider here. Leaving him with the Perona that can get bounced back by Teach, or even in some cases go in, or going for face because he's clearly building a clock versus me. He's going to Alvida out of the VV swing. And VV swing for 6. I'm swinging for 6 again. He has 2 Dawn up, so he's going to be able to level up. But now he's tapped out. So we're going to start pushing for damage here. There's 4 cards in hand now. And that 7 is going to connect. With 4 cards tapped out, he generally has to drop half his hand, or it's just like bad. So we're going to play the other Nami. And we're going to bottom deck another Shanks and 2 Otamas. At this point, I am stuck in a very, very bad position because I know that there's just no way. Like, I just bottom deck 2 Otamas. I'm likely not seeing one this game. Now, this is one of the issues I have run into, and I've changed my build so that I have more minus effects, because this Virgo, realistically, this Virgo shouldn't have lasted the turn. But, yeah, I was not able to land Otamas in order to clear Virgo with the Jet Pistol. So now he's going to start picking off my board because he can. He has been able to search the top 5 of his deck again, which is why he's not blind Doffy. And right here, I'm considering saving this. He went in raw with the 5K. So if I do this, if he really wants to kill my board presence, he's going to have to swing with one of his bigger dudes that could be swinging at my life. And that's going to take the block immediately. We're not going to try to out-combo a Virgo. So after doing that, he is able to play the Mihawk, and this is where the danger zone is high. Mihawk is 9k. The only way to really get off of it is if I had like a Gordon plus jet pistol. But we need to get rid of some of these because right now he has the ability to blow out most of my hand next turn and deal the damage with his leader, and then follow it up with those same 3 attacks to kill me. He's also still got a blocker on board, so it's going to be very, very rough. So with his 3 life, I'm starting to realize that I am not going to be able to neutralize his field and then kill him in the same amount of turns. He's actually got a full field of threats right now. So he's going to take it, which is kind of scary. He needed the card, but also he's still got the blocker law, which is going to come into play right here. So now I'm going to end up playing the Zoro, and we are going to put another Dawn in him so he can swing for 7 at Doffy. This is likely going to force out 2 cards from his hand, which it does. He put a Teach and an Alvida. Oh, I think he just realized that, yeah, okay, so he put out Teach, Alvida in order, no, Perona and Teach, and another card. So he had to drop 3 cards because he didn't have a 2k, there we go. Then I'm going to play the other Zoro, and this time Dawn it up to 8 or 7, and he's going to take that. That leaves him sitting here at 1 life, so I'll just need to connect 2 times next turn. And I still have the Luffy in hand. But the issue here is that he still has a full grip. He has actually a bunch of cards in hand. And I need 2 attacks to go through. If he puts even 1 blocker down, we can see the Doflamingo in his hand. It's going to be rough. So he's going to swing on Zoro for 7k. And looking at my hand, I definitely can't defend that. I mean, I can if I drop the Robin and the Sanji, and I think that's actually a good play here because then he's gonna have to devote another attack. I just have to. If he swings with Virgo, if he swings with Virgo at Zoro, he still has to connect 4 times to kill me, and my main thing is trying to kill him next turn. So I'm contemplating it because I'm wondering what I'm going to be doing next turn, but I think this is the flip switch moment. He's going to swing on the Zoro for 7k. I know he's got the Mihawk, but if he's got to apply more pressure, he's going to apply more pressure. So since he has me on a clock, I do want to keep my life total high, so I don't defend that Zoro. And then he's going to actually just poke at the other Zoro. I thought because he said Zoro and he kind of put his card over, I thought he was swinging at my face, and then he let me know that it was just actually the battle cards. I was like, oh my bad. So yeah. That goes. I thought it was weird he was swinging on me. I was like, okay, but yeah. So he swung on my other Zoro, and now he's going to Dawn up. Oh no, he's not even going to Dawn up. Yeah, okay, cool. So Perona is going to catch 3 Dawn to swing into this, and Sanji could protect this. He's got a Doflamingo swing, so if I want to keep my life, I can do that. Either way, all my cards were going, but then he plays the Doflamingo blocker, and he gets another search 5. From this angle, I can actually see what he's searching, so that's pretty cool. Looks like he put the, okay, so Gecko Moria on top for his effect. That's actually really powerful. Leaving the Alvida up to draw as a 2k. You put another Alvida up on there too, which is weird because he can't use that on the effect, but this is pretty much closing out the game soon enough. So he's going to swing, get the Gecko Moria. Gecko Moria is going to go to the grave and pick up. Cool, another search top 5 blocker. Very strong. So this is the rough part right here. I have to let that go. That was a lot. That was 7k on a 4k. And now I am down to a single Nami, but he has a blocker. Now with this as well, he's actually got Spada, which he can still use, a Doffy, which he can use. He's definitely got over 4k counter power. So I need to be able to attempt to swing at him. We're definitely going to Dawn up. We are going to attack the prone to get that off the field. I don't think I can kill him through this turn, so I'm going to try to kill off some of his cards. But I don't even think that is going to be able to be doable. We have to kind of try to see what we can do here. I mean, putting Luffy to swing through a blocker is going to be a 7 Dawn play, and we cannot do that and still kill him this turn. So 8 going in is probably going to force the block. He does have a Spada, and so there is also a possibility that he hits the Spada plus other things, but yeah, he opts to block. Now I'm like, okay, there's only 3 different cards. Well, there is the Gecko Moria. The Gecko Moria likely has to go because right now he has me on a clock for pretty much all 8. So I'm pretty sure right here is just the Jet Pistol. On Gecko Moria. That way I have 3 life, he has 3 swings. I'll play the Robin and we'll pass. So I'm trying to set myself up for checkmate, where I can just put Dawn on 2 different swings and then go in. But he still has a pretty strong window here, because he's got the Doflamingo blocker, and he also has 7 left over to literally just play Doflamingo. Playing it smart, he should swing with his leader first, because if I flip over a Jet Pistol, he wants that to not have any targets. Where if he plays the blocker first in bad sequencing, he would lose that. Computing. Alright, so he's trying to make sure I have the fewest amount of swings possible next turn, which is fair. Virgo going at my face. We don't stop that. We have Luffy and Shanks. We just added an Usopp to my hand, which we saw earlier. Let's add another Robin to my hand. And here we go. So he's going to play that. Oh, yep, I remember this now. It is not... So the Doffy, we probably could have taken care of. Or gotten around at least. It's not the Doffy that we have to worry about. He's about to play a... You're about to see what locks this game. Because now... Yeah, he just wanted to make sure they're there. Now he's going to tap 4 for a Boa. Nice alt-art, nice powerful alt-art. And he goes to pass. Now with 2 blockers there, I have to connect 2 times. And there's 2 blockers. And that pretty much seals the game in his favor. We were able to go forward and really put down momentum. But Luffy going through his blockers isn't enough. He actually has a fair amount of hand too. So Luffy going through his blockers is not enough. Perhaps there was some way I could have put a Luffy on field last turn so that I could just play a Luffy this turn and swing with both of them for 7k. Yeah, because I think that's actually a thing. Like, if I were to have a Luffy on board already, I could have played another Luffy, and there's still 5 Dawn left over, so 2 for each Luffy, 1 for Zoro, making them both swing for 9k, 9k apiece. And that might have gotten there, but that would have required me to use 2 less Dawn last turn, and I don't think there's any possible way I could have done that and not died this turn. But looking back on this, that there may have been actually that. Like, if I did not Dawn up on one of the cards, perhaps that could have worked. But who knows if he would have been at the damage he is right now, if I would have forced the Doflamingo if I had done that. But it wouldn't have necessarily mattered, because if I didn't force the Doflamingo, if I had the double Luffy play. So we're pretty much out of options here. It's unfortunate. Yeah, I think the only way I won this is by going into this turn with Luffy on the board already. But hey, the more you know. I have a whole hand full of nothing. Shanks, Luffy, Luffy. I got stuck with those in hand. Usopp, Robin, and Sai. So, there's a little bit of counter power, but it's definitely not enough to do anything. So right here, I'm going to try my best to kill Virgo. We're swinging at Virgo for 9k, and he is going to be able to defend that. Oof. I forgot about Love. So yeah, I wouldn't even stop that. So yeah, that's the game right there. I scooped it up because there's no way I survived that next turn. He has 3 attacks on board. I have 1 life, and I can only defend none of them if he just dons correctly without playing anything. So that's the way the cookie crumbles. Like I said, aggression versus aggression, and we both had good tempo. It was pretty good because one of us died. I either died this turn or he died next turn. So we had a really close game, and I dig it. So yeah, let's go into the closing, and we'll just wrap up this video, yeah? So there you have it. You have Doffy versus Zoro. Like I said, that was close. One of the main issues of that game was that I could not get a hold of anything to lower his attack power down so that I could jet pistol some of his threats off the board. I can say that since then, I have changed around my deck list because I have seen that to be a glaring issue that should be addressed. But in the meantime, that was a fun game with a cool dude from locals. I'll be coming out with more gameplay videos. Let me know in the comments anything I can do better or change. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.